In today's demo, we're going to do a full face sugaring demo. The face is definitely a little bit more of an advanced technique, so make sure that your precision and the control of your ball is locked down before you work on someone's face. I suggest practicing the same technique on different areas until you feel comfortable with the sugar paste and applying it to such a delicate area. I'm going to start by cleansing the face with witch hazel. And I like to cleanse in the opposite direction of hair growth, just to get up under the hair. And after this time, I'm gonna cleanse one more time just to make sure that all of the oil and makeup and anything that could be on her skin is cleansed nicely. The full face would include eyebrow, lip, chin, and sideburns as well. Next, I'm just gonna apply some drying powder to the face. I like to keep a paper towel with my drying powder on it. That way I can just dip back into it and pick up some more baby powder when my cotton ball starts to run out. And the drying powder keeps the skin nice and dry during the service and helps soak up any moisture that may get on the skin during the service. You want the skin to stay nice and dry so that the hair can, or the sugar can stick to the hair. Because the sugar paste is water soluble, if there's any moisture, it won't stick. I'm gonna start with the lip. I like to pull the skin kind of apart and apply in the opposite direction of hair growth. Just with one finger, nice even pressure coming across. And just rub, rub, rub until it feels that it is completely tangled in. And I'm gonna come across, applying pressure and flick fast. And apply pressure with your finger after. Again, just pulling the skin nice and tight on application and removal. Then I'm going to come to the other side and do the same thing. And just make sure it's nice and tangled, nice even pressure. Apply pressure, pull past, flick fast. With sugaring, you can get right on that lip line. As long as their lips aren't too dry, you don't have to worry about it damaging the lips. If their lips are really dry, I do recommend either putting on some chapstick, having your client put some chapstick on, or they can just lick their lips to get some moisture on the lips so that it doesn't pick up the dry dead skin cells and cause a little tear on their lips. From here, I'm gonna have my client tuck their lip in and I'm gonna apply up towards the nose, and then come straight across for the flick. And you can just come back in and clean up any left behind. Okay, you can relax your lips. I'm just gonna come to this corner and work my way back across the bottom of the lip. Just tangle that hair in, press and flick across. Perfect. From there, I'm gonna start working down the chin. I'm just gonna work on the chin. Make sure it's tangled in nice and good. Pressure, flick. All right, I'm just gonna keep working under the chin here. The hair on the face is very vellus, so you wanna make sure that your sugar paste is not too firm. Otherwise, it can cause breakage on the application if you're rubbing it too hard and the paste is too firm. Just gonna work my way around underneath the chin. Pulling the skin tight behind where I'm flicking from. I noticed the hair actually is still growing out, so I'm going to switch back and come across this way and flick down and across. Turn your head this way, and I'm just going to get right here underneath the jawline and right below the ear. A lot of clients complain of the hair that is right underneath here in this area. Turn back this way and do the same thing here. Next, I'm going to work on the cheek area. Some people don't like their cheeks done, so I do like to ask if they do want that included. And we're going to go right underneath the eye there and the cheekbone. Applying pressure after. Now that I have a little bit of a clean spot, I'm gonna work my way down, applying up because the hair growth is growing down. That way I'm always flicking against the hair growth or perpendicular. I'm pulling the skin tight behind where I'm flicking from, letting it sink in, and flicking fast. Turning out with that sugar. Pulling tight behind. All right, I'm just gonna clean up this little spot here, right close to the hairline. And then work my way into this sideburn. It's hard to get a good direction because you go into hair if you pull back and pass. So I like to come out to where it's already been cleaned up and kind of come out with that strip. Being nice and gentle in your application, just letting the sugar do all the work. Tangle in that hair. Press, flick fast. If I need to go back in, I can just go in with that one finger and twirl and flick to pick up any of the little leftover ones that get left behind. Just double check right underneath the ear. It's an area of complaint from a lot of clients. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. See how I like make a clean spot behind and then bring my next strip to where it ends in that clean spot.
Mm-hmm.
Look at those arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Before starting eyebrows, I always like to hand my client a handheld mirror and go over their eyebrows with them and their desired shape. That way you can point out any imperfections they may have in their eyebrows so that they don't think that you caused the imperfections, and also go over their desired shape and what may be achievable for that client and their brow type. Moving on to the eyebrows, I'm just gonna brush up and trim across the top any of the ones that are too long. If you do this and trim in, you can cut into the brow and make it where there's like a divot. So I don't like to do that too much unless there's one or two that are really long. Okay, so to start the brows, I like to pull apart and up. The hair typically grows up in this area, so I'll apply down and then pressure and flick up and get just underneath. Same thing on this side. Now work my way up just a little bit. And then change directions to finish the middle. When I work across the top, you can brush the brows down to go along the top of that brow. Light, even pressure. Just following along the brow line. You don't have to take off too much across the top, but definitely always clean up along the top. On the top of this brow, it can be a little bit difficult because you want to be able to see where you're working. So you will remove against the hair growth. So you want to go back and forth both ways and make sure it's tangled in nice and good before coming across. And then just work your way down that brow line. Okay, from here to do underneath, I like to tilt their head a little bit this way, pull up and apart. And then I'm just gonna lightly apply the sugar underneath, tangling in the hairs. Just gonna continue to work my way down and across the brow. And until you get really confident in brows, you can work on cleaning up as close as you feel comfortable and then tweezing the rest. But definitely work to gain the confidence and precision to get up close to the brows so that you can sugar right along that brow line. Again, you're going to want to apply against, and this is another awkward angle to where you'll have to pull against the growth, so make sure it's tangled in good. I always use this finger to apply pressure right after the pull to take away some of that sting. After I'm finished with the face, I like to go in and cleanse one more time with witch hazel and then tweeze. So I'm going to do that next before I apply the Recover Soothing Gel. Next, I'm gonna apply the Recover Soothing Gel. I like to put a little pump on my cotton ball and then wipe it on the back of my hand so I can control how much is going onto the client's skin, and then just kind of dip back into it if I need to pick up any more. With full face sugaring, it is one of the areas that can be more prone to breakout. So doing the double cleanse, cleansing after are important steps to take to avoid the breakout, but also just educating your clients and letting them know that the hair on their face is very fine, it's very delicate, and it can be prone to breakouts. So letting them know that after their service is done, they need to make sure they don't put on any makeup lotions or creams for the next 24 hours. And if they do start to see any sort of breakout, that they cleanse with witch hazel and gently exfoliate the area. And within a couple days, they should see that breakout go away.